I always want to keep that music playing.
Live?
I like it.
Oh.
Yes, we're live. Surprise.
Hello.
What's up, everybody? So welcome to this week's episode, What Washed Up?
Yay. Some
That was
crazy
a creative
things.
creative title.
Yeah, very good job. Good job.
Thank you. I did my part. I'm done. Tiffany can talk the rest of the time. So today we thought it would be fun to talk a little bit about, we get a lot of questions from people that come into town and they want to know, what do you see on the beach? What kind of shells? What's in the water? What have you seen? I have spent a lot of time since we've lived here. I surf fished for at least a few first couple years. I don't surf fish as much anymore, but and so I thought it'd be fun to have that conversation. We get people who come here and we'll talk about shark's teeth. We're going to talk about jellyfish. We're going to talk about starfish. We're going to talk about all the things that you're like
random stuff that y'all might not expect to be on the beach.
For sure. But you know, in any beach, I think it varies a little bit, because I've said this many times. I grew up going to the East Coast beaches up in Maryland, Ocean City area. And some of the things that take place here don't take place there. At least I'm not aware.
Well, the water is much colder.
For sure.
Every time we go there, even in the summer, it's very cold. So
yeah. And I well, we can get into it, but I thought I'd talk a little bit about some of that. So let's get started. Wait, by the way, if you are watching and you have questions about the beach, or we're not oceanographers, so we can answer some questions, but we can only answer certain things. But if you have questions about even real estate, I guess we could segue to real estate if it had to do with the beach.
Well, if you buy a beach condo, you can be down on the beach searching for some really cool finds for yourself, right?
100%.
Or just move to the beach.
If you have any questions, but even if you see this later, if you have questions about the beach or anything real estate related, reach out. But tonight, I'd love to know where you're watching from. If you found anything interesting on the beach that you think no one has ever seen, or if it has to do with some of the topics we talk about tonight, I'll bring that up too, where I get really jealous of people when they find certain things on the beach. It frustrates me to no end. Anyway, we'll talk about
I did do a new lightning round for Frank, but he did not see any of the answers.
So I didn't see the answers last time, and they weren't that hard.
Okay. I mean, well, I made it more difficult this time. So
is it in my wheelhouse?
Probably not, unless you're an oceanographer.
Well, that's all I needed to know.
But it's interesting information. We'll see how good you are.
I'll probably still get them right. Anyway. Okay. So let's talk about, where should we start? I have some surprise info too.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Okay. What is it?
Well, I have stuff about like shark encounters, shark attacks, strange objects and military history, which we kind of get into with some of your pictures you put together for tonight. So we have some pictures we're going to share with you guys as we go through some of the things.
It's hard to dig up all the pictures, but I tried to do the best I could.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little difficult, but let me start with a statistic. Okay. So we get people that ask about sharks. So roughly 20 million people visit Myrtle Beach area each year.
Gosh.
But only around 6 shark attacks have been recorded in the last decade, which still puts the area, which still puts the area in the top 5 in the South for shark incidents.
Well, I mean, how many places are in the South? You mean Myrtle Beach or South Carolina?
Yeah, I know. I didn't go that detail. I just know the South. So why don't
I'm the analytical. I have follow-up questions. You need to be prepared.
We average what I found. This is what I found. Myrtle Beach averages about 1 to 2 shark attacks per year. So
what? I haven't heard of these shark attacks.
Yeah, always, but they're almost
not been hearing about.
But they're almost always minor bites with no fatal incidents recorded since 1852.
Okay, well that's better.
See, we're getting better.
But I'm telling you, y'all,
she won't get in the water.
I was
anyway.
like, I'll get until my ankle deep. Legit, there was a shark right there in the ankle deep water.
Or it could have been a minnow. One of the two. We're not sure.
It was not, and you have caught several sharks while fishing.
It could have been a finger mullet. What?
You've caught sharks while fishing. A lot of
Yes.
people on the beach.
Yeah, but those
catch
are
them.
sand sharks, and they eat their bottom feeders. They don't really do.
A shark's
Now,
a shark to me.
Since we're on the subject of
Mhm.
sharks, about 10 years ago, it was
Mhm.
probably 10, 11 years ago,
Okay.
I was surf fishing on the beach, and a couple, maybe 20 buildings down the beach, maybe 10, somebody pulled in from the ocean surf fishing a 10-foot tiger shark.
Yeah, I remember that. That was crazy.
That was crazy. What was even crazier was that they brought it in and then they took
Oh,
the
my
hook
Lord.
out and then they put it back out.
I wouldn't swim there. Not that I was anyway.
Yeah. So
The last time I swam in the ocean deep, I was in college, and a crab bit my foot, and I said never again. But I love living at the beach, so I still want to live here.
so
I still wanna go in.
to share the final stat. What?
Oh, I was gonna say, go ahead, share your final stat.
The final
on sharks.
stat is you can basically it's roughly 1 in 11.5 million for a shark attack just to kind of give you an idea of how rare it is.
Okay. I mean, that's like when people tell me about flying.
Yeah.
Does it make me feel better? So crazy thing on the beach. Speaking of crazy on the beach, we kind of all like expect sharks to be on the beach, right? So, people ask all the time, do we have alligators around here? And we do. We've talked about that. We have alligators in the waterways, some ponds, some random like side of road. If there's a little sewer drain, we found them in really random places around town. But there has been a few times in the past few years where an alligator was at the beach. Like it washed up on the beach. So people are swimming and then like an alligator's in the ocean, which is not normal. They don't live in the salt water.
They get confused.
And so they must come in on like a storm drain pipe or something like that, I guess.
Probably. That's definitely how
then like beach patrol comes and they take them off the beach and put them where they're supposed to be. But
I think that happened down south too. It's happened a couple times. They've shown them coming off on the surf.
This is not common, y'all, but it has happened, and we're talking about the craziest things we've seen on the beach since we've been here. So
yeah, this is just us being honest and what's going on here, what's gone on. So the other thing is we have seen many times where when you start to live on the intercoastal or you spend time there and you're taking your boat, you don't think about like a lot of the stuff that swims in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but we have seen quite a few times where an alligator, a nice size alligator, is just swimming along the intercoastal where all the boats are and the houses, snakes. So that stuff, it's nature.
But you expect an alligator to be in the intracoastal? Like I would not swim in the intracoastal.
No, I hear you. That would definitely be
it's like brackish water. They like that. So
a little shocking when you're about to get in the ocean and
on the ocean, and then an alligator pops out,
starts walking on out.
I think they're just as confused, like Frank said, as we all are. But do you have anything more about sharks, or can we move on?
No, we can move on. I just wanted to talk about sharks. It's not even Shark Week. Anyway, go ahead.
So when Hudson was younger, do you want to show them the picture? This is the craziest thing, y'all. I thought they were only in Africa.
What are we talking about? The beetles?
Yeah. So I literally thought this was only in Africa, and Hudson found this on the beach.
Yeah.
Of course, he was in the stage of like every single insect and creature is his friend. And we looked at, I was like, that looks like a dung beetle. And I was like, there's no way it could be in South Carolina and on the beach in South Carolina. And sure enough, there is something called the Carolina dung beetle. And they actually do clean up the waste on the beach because they eat waste. And so they are little beach cleaners, natural beach cleaners for us here. But Hudson took it home. He
pretty
had
crazy.
To take it home.
And it really was big. Like you can see how big it is on his hand there. It was really big.
It was so big. It was kind of cute. I mean, I can't believe I said that, but it was kind of cute. It was nice. It didn't bite him or anything. But they are a beneficial insect. They're not dangerous because they don't bite you. Our child was holding it. It was fine. He had it for like a week. And they clean up the beach because they eat all of those bad waste products that are on the beach. So
that was a really interesting find. It was pretty
Yeah.
cool. It was so big because it was so different. It was so big. And it
yes.
just caught our eye. And then we were like, oh my gosh, I've never seen a beetle like this big. It was really big.
I honestly grew up in the Carolinas, and I never saw a dung beetle
Yeah.
in Carolina,
First
and I
for
never
me.
thought for sure. So I was shocked by that. Maybe y'all know that dung beetles exist here,
I mean,
but
news to me.
but it does. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah. I've never heard of that. So.
And then, so 2020 was a weird year, right? Because COVID and all that craziness. Well, also that year in 2020 in Garden City Beach, which is between Myrtle Beach and Surfside Beach, small area, but thousands of starfish washed up to the shore, live starfish. They were all breeding there. They just chose that particular year to choose Garden City to breed, and there was thousands of them, and everybody was out there, and you could literally just put your hands in to the ocean and scoop handfuls of them up. I'm not even joking. I thought I saw it on the news and friends were all posting about it, and I was like, they're probably exaggerating. So I took Hudson down there. Frank was working, unfortunately, but Hudson and I went, and like starfish or sea stars, whatever you want to call them, as far as you could see everywhere in the ocean. So Hudson and I we heard you should throw them out to the deep end because they can die in the shallow end, but a lot of people were taking them home as souvenirs. But that was the craziest thing. It was that one year in 2020 that happened.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of putting them back if we can and keeping them alive. But it was pretty amazing. You know, you sometimes you'll see those when you're. It's cool because there's never. What's great about living in any beach, I'm sure, but definitely here in Myrtle Beach for me, is when we go to the beach and we'll spend a day on the beach. What I think is the most fun thing to do is to take a walk on the beach. And the reason why I think it's so fun is because you never know what you're going to come across. It seems like every time we take a walk, it's a new journey, a new experience. And we always have a story when we come back, whether it's somebody catching a sea trout, or we found crabs, or, you know, what it could be anything. Some crazy shell we found, shark's teeth, whatever. Always something fun happens. It doesn't matter the day. There's always something. And that's what's cool about being at the beach. I think that's really cool.
And so there was a period of time where Hudson, Frank and I lived at our oceanfront condo, one of them, and he would go down and fish, and you would bring it up and we would make it for dinner. I mean, how much more fresh can you get? What was the common fish that you would catch that we would eat?
I mean, we would catch.
So they know what to expect if they go out.
Yeah. I mean, the most common was a bluefish. A lot of people, I think it's a hit or miss on bluefish, whether people like them or don't like them.
I thought they were good. And I don't like fishy fish. They were more.
I was fine with them,
neutral.
But a lot of people say they don't like the taste of bluefish, but I was fine with it. But the best was the sea trout, or flounder, of course. Drum. The problem is the drum have to be a particular size. So we would catch drum that were either too big or too small, and they weren't like right in that sweet spot from the surf. But most of the time it was bluefish or sea trout. There's a couple others that I'm not remembering right now, but there's some good eating fish that you can catch from the surf.
It's really cool that you can just go down there and relax at the beach, enjoy the scenery and the waves, and then catch yourself some dinner.
And I'll tell you what's really fun too is as someone who's, you know, surf fishes. For those of you that do like fishing, you know, you do need a license to be able to fish from the surf. Very inexpensive, very easy to get.
Don't know.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it. So you do need a fishing license. You can get it at most bait and tackle places here. You can buy them at, you know, you could go to SCDNR, but you know, you can get your bait straight from there too. If you don't know how to cast net, that's probably a little bit tough, but I like to cast net right out into the ocean and get finger mullet, put them in a bucket, and now you have live bait. A lot of people go to the bait shop and they'll buy frozen bait, but using fresh bait is usually the best in my opinion. So anyway, you can cast net straight from the beach. You can, if you know how to look for the finger mullet, and it could be really fun.
But they have measuring tools that you can get at the piers in some places around town that will tell you what size each type of fish has to be.
Yes.
Because it can't be too small and it can't be too big. So the ones that you can keep have to be within that window, right?
Yep. And some of them, here's what a lot of people don't know, and I don't want to make this all about fish, but you have to, you measure from the point of the nose to the fork in the tail or the tip of the tail. They're different. So you have to know which one you're measuring to so you can accurately measure the fish.
But definitely.
Okay.
You should be, the one crazy thing about fishing, when we were out one day, these guys had a drone and they were putting the fishing hook onto the drone and taking it like way out and then dropping it into the ocean. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
It was really interesting.
I mean, the further out you go, it doesn't mean you have to do that to catch fish, but you definitely have a better advantage a lot of times if you can go further out. So yeah, cool. So I have some more shark stuff if you want to talk about some more shark stuff.
I was trying to lighten the mood.
Too late. So let's talk about shark's teeth.
That's something that Frank is obsessed with finding. He will spend, you are not a very patient person, right?
It's one of my downfalls.
But when it comes to hunting for shark's teeth, he is the most patient person in the world and will stay out for hours.
But I think that's most hunters in general. I could sit in a deer stand. I do like to spot and stalk, but I mean, like when I'm doing that kind of stuff for whatever reason, something switches on and I'm good. And I just get in like focused, but I love looking for shark's teeth.
I think we have a picture of some of the shark's teeth.
Yeah. I want to tell some stats though first. Sure. So, we are famous for shark's teeth, especially megalodon and, different, fossil shark teeth. But I was looking up, basically what happens is, the bones from the shark kind of eventually just melt away. Essentially, they disintegrate over time, but the teeth stay and then they wash up on shore. I never vacationing up in Ocean City, Maryland. I don't know how it is for other places up on the East Coast. Down here, though, depending on where you're at, shark's teeth are a thing. I don't remember them ever in my life being a thing and up on the Eastern coast up north. But here they are, and they're black. And so
for the most part,
the ones that are, I guess would you say they're more special? I mean, they're white. It's kind of cool.
Black are the older. And if they just are newer out of the mouth, they're white.
Yeah.
But remember when our clients found a gold one and it was the size of the palm of your hand? Well, right in front of the Camelot. Yeah. Which is by almost to the boardwalk in Myrtle Beach.
That's a tough one to swallow. When someone comes in for a weekend and they pull this big tooth and I can't find them
all the time. Yeah.
But a family that was in a trip near Charleston uncovered a megalodon tooth measuring 6.5 inches. And that was considered that might've been like a record. But divers find, places like rivers around here, they find shark's teeth. And they regularly pull 3 to 5 inch meg teeth, but anything over 6 inches is considered extremely rare. So just in case anyone's wondering, and it takes time to get your eye right to find it. Yeah, let me show a couple so people can see.
They all look very different, and depending on the type of shark tooth, they can look very different.
So these are dark ones. We have one actually Tiffany found it.
On Mother's Day, I was like, wouldn't it be great to find a cool tooth on Mother's Day, and I found the white one.
Yeah, you found a white one. This is a bunch of shark's teeth we have found. This is what they look like in general. We found
hundreds, but this is a good example of.
So you find tall ones, and they're all from different sharks. I'm not that good. I can't tell you what one came from a great white and what one came from a tiger shark and what came from a whatever, but they're pretty cool because they're different. So some are short and fat and wide and tall, and they're all different, the gum line, and you can kind of see how they're pronounced, but I do think they're super fun to look for. Not really, valuable or anything, but they're just cool to find.
Once you get the eye for, they're kind of black shiny, and sometimes when we were first looking, you would think a black shell was a shark's tooth. But once you find enough of them, you can really distinguish pretty quickly between the black shells that kind of trick you in the actual shark's teeth, because sometimes you only have a few seconds before that water washes back out
Yeah.
to grab one.
Yeah, that's true. And it just makes it fun. So
Yeah.
sometimes you'll see us out on the beach, the three of us, Hudson and Tiffany and I.
loves
And
to
we're-
look for them also.
Yeah.
So you've created a monster.
He's getting more patient. Usually if it's, so it depends on the day, but he does like to do it. These are some other shells, by the way, we'll talk about, but there's some of them right there. Also for those of you from up north, and if you've been here, if you haven't, you don't. But when I would go to Ocean City, Maryland, it's very difficult to find whole pretty shells because they would get broken up because it's so deep and rough and whatever. Here, you have a much better chance of finding pretty shells. And we do on a regular.
So many pretty shells.
We found some really pretty shells, and we'll show you some.
Rare, not just, you get a ton of scallop and clam and oyster shells, but we have found some really beautiful, rare shells.
Thank you, Diana, for watching. We appreciate it. Good to see you on our show today.
This will be a fun one for you.
Yeah. What should we talk about next?
Okay, so speaking of shells, and let's talk about our state shell.
Okay, that's a good idea.
So our state shell is called the knobbed whelk.
Wait,
I always call them conch shells.
Wait. I thought it was a lettered olive.
No, it's lettered olive.
I thought that was the state shell.
But the state shell is a knobbed whelk.
How can they both be the state shell?
I don't know. Maybe it's because this one's a live creature. I don't know.
All right. I was under the impression it was the lettered olive, but
it said it was designated in 1984.
Now I've got a bone to pick. But that's all right.
Can we show them the picture? So we found a lot of broken ones, and then we found some whole ones.
Is that on the second?
But Hudson and Claire, I think it's on here on the top. Hudson and Claire found. Show Hudson and Claire first, then we'll show you a close-up. So out of the ocean, they pull out this really cool looking shell. And we think that it's just a normal shell, but it was all whole and it was pretty big. So we were excited. But then we realized, if you want to go to the next one, that it actually was alive. Do you see that? Point out the little conch body.
Oh, there. Yeah.
So that is actually a live whelk. I call it a conch, but it's wrong. It's a whelk. So it's actually a live whelk that they found right there on the beach. That was in front of the Palms Resort off of 25th Avenue North in Myrtle Beach. So just north of the boardwalk. And
that's a pretty one too. That's not like your basic white. I mean, that's got color, a definite, all the definition and the cool stuff on it.
It's a pretty good size and
details.
We just saw the peak of it at first, and then they grabbed it. And who would have thought it would have been a live one?
Yeah.
Usually you can grab them and then they're half chipped or whatever, or maybe whole if you're lucky. But that was a really cool finding on the beach.
100%. And I also found one that I stepped on years ago that looked just like this one.
Yeah.
I stepped on it and then I was like, what the heck? And then I reached down and had to dig just a little bit. And then a whole one came out. It was nothing in it. But yeah, you just never know. You never know what you're going to find.
We, do you want to show the ghost crab? We found so there's a lot of different types of crabs on the beaches. You don't have to be in the ocean to find a crab. You can just be walking along the beach. So there's
a lot of these in the sand. This
is called a ghost crab, and it looks kind of like the crab on SpongeBob SquarePants. I only guess the kids saw that movie the other day. But it has the eyes that stick up over
yeah.
them.
And it's clear, yellowy, and it goes around side to side like crabs do.
It was a really cool. So if you see holes that have little kind of sand balls around them, then that tells you a ghost crab is somewhere near that you might find.
Let's see. What else should we show? Which one's next? Conch? This one or no? Cannon. Should we go to Cannon?
So we can show the blue crab. That's a fun picture. You just passed it.
Oh, there it is.
He needs his glasses, y'all.
There we go.
So there are a lot of blue crabs. So sorry, guys. That was worker in the office.
No worries.
So basically,
This is the crab too. This is the one we brought back.
yes. So this is a blue crab that Hudson found, but it unfortunately passed away. But he wanted to try to see if it would pinch Frank. So he had a fun time always trying to mess with his dad. So,
But it gives you a good idea of the size of crab you can find.
a lot of times we find things on the beach and we don't have a camera handy with us. We have, because we're on the beach. So blue crabs, we found a bunch this summer right in front of North Beach Plantation and Beach Cove Resort. And that is in the Windy Hill section of Myrtle Beach. And there's a little inlet that comes in from the marsh at the top of the street down to the ocean. And you can find some really cool creatures there. And so we actually found ghost crab, and then we found blue crab there right in that little inlet. It's on 48th Avenue South in North Myrtle Beach. There's some really good finds. And actually, to change the subject from crab, because we have another crab to show you, but speaking of that exact location, so 1 or 2 weeks ago, they had done some dredging on the beach and pull up what somebody found in that location.
This?
Yes, in front of North Beach Plantation and Beach Cove Resort in North Myrtle Beach.
It's crazy.
Some people were metal detecting, and beep, 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 it goes off, and they dig. And it's a Civil War era cannonball that was still undetonated. They said they saw like the fuse or something. So they called
That's
in
crazy.
the police and the bomb squad. We actually have a picture somewhere, but the bomb squad came onto the beach with all of their heavy bomb gear and took the cannonball to a different location, and they actually detonated it, and it did blow up.
Yeah.
And I saw a picture somewhere of it like half done because it was like blown up at that point. So it was pretty a fun thing. But when you think about, it really makes you think about how many ships have sunk off of our coast, because every so often you'll see shipwreck something, how many wars were fought off of our coast, that you can find some really cool things that wash up from time to time. And this just happened. So the moral of this story is, do not take a cannonball home with you. It could explode.
Seriously.
You need to call the police if you find that.
Most people don't know, though, that parts of the Grand Strand around Myrtle Beach were once used as a bombing and gunnery training range during World War II.
Yes.
And that was including the Conway bombing and gunnery range north of town, with multiple bombing and air-to-ground gunnery ranges.
And this was Civil War era. However, in Carolina Forest, what you're saying is a lot of building is going on in the Carolina Forest area where they had a big gunnery range, bombing and gunnery range. So every so often when they are building and digging for a home, they will find a device and they will have to call them, and we'll hear randomly loud booms. Yeah. And it's the bomb squad setting off those ordinances that they find. So that is still around here. So something to be aware of. But if you ever find anything like that, whether it's World War II or Civil War or any of the eras around here, we do have them, and you have to call and get them taken care of correctly. You can't just throw it in the trash or take it home with you. No,
it's 100% true. And you were talking about shipwrecks. Mm-hmm. There is stories about Blackbeard.
Oh.
Pirate ships fancy. That he used to hide out apparently in Myrtle's Inlet area.
Oh my goodness!
And he could get away, and I guess was doing things around Charleston area and then back. But there's maybe treasure, maybe not. I don't know.
Ooh,
if you want to be rich, maybe you could do some diving. But I feel like, I mean, this has been a while, but gold coins that were found. But we're talking like way long time ago, if I'm not mistaken. So, but lots of cool history that you wouldn't even think about. But anyway,
because Myrtle Beach in general is a newly incorporated town. It was in the 50s that it was actually incorporated into a city. So people thinking about our area as relatively new, but then you find all of these old things like that. And you're like, wait a minute, it has been there forever. It's just not been Myrtle Beach.
I mean, it's kind of crazy to know that there was a cannon
Oh my gosh,
ball
so
found in the
cool.
beach that
I mean,
was
just
live.
think about the history of that. It's so awesome. I love it.
Okay. So we talked about the cannonball. Do you want to talk? I was going to bring up jellyfish, but should we
I have
wait?
some more crazy crabs
All
to
right.
find. So
Yeah.
do you want to bring up like the sand crab? They're so not
Is that in the other pictures?
yeah.
All right.
So we did find these first of all a lot in Ocean City, Maryland. And Hudson would dig them up and put them in buckets, but you'll see them wash up onto the shore and then they'll go back with the waves, and like tons of them. So we hadn't noticed them here until, I don't know, several years ago. I feel like they've gotten like multiplied in our area because now you can really scoop them up every time you go to the beach. You can pretty much find these. So they're called mole crabs or sand crabs. I don't like them, but they don't bite you. They're harmless. Hudson loves to catch them. I think there's a picture of Hudson when he was little.
Yeah, but I don't think they can see this, so I'm trying to get this
Oh, okay,
out of
gotcha.
here.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Oh wait, they did see it. Maybe they did. Yeah.
Okay.
I think maybe they can see it. I'm not sure.
Sorry, guys. We're
Trying
not,
to get this figured out. Yeah.
Technology.
That's all right. Let's just stick to the pictures on here because I can't get these pulled up correctly.
So let's talk about horseshoe crabs.
Yeah.
So we do have one of the largest aquariums in the state here at Broadway at the beach. It's the Ripley's Aquarium.
This is cool.
You can find horseshoe crabs and touch them at the aquarium, but you actually do find them from time to time washed up on the beach. And sometimes they're alive, sometimes they're not. But if they are alive and they're upside down, they ask that you flip them over because otherwise they will die.
Yeah.
So that's the thing some people don't know is if you do find a horseshoe crab on the beach, just flip it over and not this way, the other way. So the hard shell's on the top and so it can go on its way.
I have some other pictures of a horseshoe crab too.
Yeah, that's what the top looks like.
So
that's where you want to flip it to.
Now, these are very common on the East Coast. Ocean City, we used to see these all the time.
Yep.
They would wash up, but these are really cool. I mean, they're ancient too. I think they've been around long time.
450 million years old.
There you go.
And they're not actually a crab. They're more related to a spider or a scorpion. Which if you pull up the picture again of the other side, you can see that it really does look like that from the other side, like a scorpion kind of claws. It's but again, they don't hurt. They're harmless. You know? But
they don't hurt. They can't really do anything. You know, if they barely ever. Yeah, that's usually just to help them navigate. I don't think that's really. I've never had an issue with it, but yeah, they're pretty cool, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So they definitely look like they could be from the spider or scorpion family. That's for sure.
So speaking of the aquarium, also another thing that you can touch in the aquarium and that we also find at the beach are jellyfish.
Yes.
They have a lot of jellyfish exhibits in the aquarium and then they have a touch tank. But yes, you find them on the beach quite often. And it's the cannonball. Is it cannonball jellies?
They think they call it a cabbage head too. Either way, the same thing.
They're more like round with little tentacles, but like short. And they don't usually sting. They're not usually an issue, but we do see them washed up on shore often.
They're the most common ones. They've got like brown, sometimes purple around them.
But the biggest one that you want to be aware of is the man-o-wars because they will sting you. And I've been stung before and it does not feel good. You don't even know it's there. And they have longer tentacles that can sting you.
I think we've seen them. We've never really, most of the time we see
on the beach.
Most of the time we see the cannonball or the cabbage head ones. We do get mushroom jellies. They are similar to a cannonball, but they're usually a little fatter and flatter without the dark band. But most of them are harmless or a very weak sting. Moon jellies they're a little bit, they have a little bit more of a sting, but they're still not even that bad. The two, like Tiffany said, was the Portuguese man o' war, which can be bad. We've seen them. I feel like I've only seen those once here. Sea wasps and other box type jellies. They're mostly clear and they're small, but they can deliver a painful sting too. But those and the man o' wars, and the man o' wars have these long tentacles.
That's the problem with those is
Yeah.
you don't know that they're there.
Most of the jellies here don't have anything really hanging. So
And yeah, I mean, like you said, for the most part, 90% of the time, it's just going to be the harmless ones,
Yeah.
really. But or like a minor sting, but you can, from time to time, come across the ones that will hurt a little bit more.
Yeah, we mostly get cannonball jellies. Those white jelly balls, they're basically harmless, plus some mushrooms and some moon jellies. But once in a while, those stingers from the man o' wars and stuff are the ones that you got to be careful of.
I don't know if it's on the pictures you can show, since we don't know how to show the ones not on there. But
sorry, we're having a little technical difficulties.
The stone crab on there, because Hudson found one and it looks so different than a normal crab that we've ever found. And it
I don't think we have a picture of that anyway.
It's called a stone crab. So those crabs are known to be able to regrow their what do you call it? Not limbs, but I guess.
Oh yeah, they do. They regenerate, I think.
They regenerate their limbs, and then they're just an interesting one because their pinchers aren't as thick as the other ones that we find.
Yeah, no, it's true. Let's see. Under picks. That's the stuff. Yeah, I know.
Sorry, we are doing pretty good, I think, in our lives doing the videos, right? But
stone crab.
There's two, I think, of the stone crabs.
I figured it out.
Okay, so do you want to show
I will in the
first one?
Yeah, let me. I'll show them. Yeah.
Okay, so that's Hudson holding one of these stone crabs, and they are. We have another one where it's like you can see it from the top.
It's a little bit smaller, that one. There's another picture, but this one's actually a little better, but they're both.
Well, because you can kind of see it from the top. It's like a weird like shape to it. So, and then I think that was found at Myrtle Beach State Park. And because it's like a preserve area there, you can find some really cool things on the beach. Plus they have the pier you can fish off of. But if you want to show the moon snail, so another thing that we found at Myrtle Beach State Park, we always find these moon snail shells, but they're always empty. But one day Hudson pulled it out of the ocean, and it was a live moon snail. And it was humongous when it came out.
I don't remember that.
Oh my gosh. It was like it came out and it was so big past the shell, just like this, that you would never think that they would be so large.
Yeah.
Like you would think of the ones that kind of crawl around on the sidewalks and stuff, like a little snail, but these come out and they're like all jelly-like and big. So of course Hudson took it and put it in his bucket and kept it all day. I think we made him put it away. He always wanted to take them home as pets, everything that he would find on the beach. But again, it's kind of like the whelk that we found, where you reach in and you think it's just going to be a normal
little
shell,
bit, and then it turns out to be a whole situation.
A whole one, right? And that was crazy. I really didn't think that they were so big. That was a very interesting find. But that was also at Myrtle Beach State Park. So if you're looking for some really interesting, unique shells, a lot of whole shells, live animals, sea turtle release. They do have some sea turtle. I forget what time of year sea turtles come out, but they have times where they lay eggs on the shore. And so they'll watch over those. They have people that will watch over them and then release, they hatch and go into the ocean. So from time to time, if you happen to be in town during those hatchings of the sea turtles, you could actually be on the beach and watch them make their way into the ocean.
And what's funny is those leatherback sea turtles, like the sand fleas, which I'm going to show you in a second, but we call them sand fleas. There's other names for them, but they're little tiny, like crab-like looking animals.
What we talked about that already.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't show them a picture.
I think. Oh, I thought
So we didn't
had,
have a picture
sorry.
of them.
Gotcha.
So I'm going to show them a picture. But those the leatherbacks sea turtles are big, and we actually by accident caught one once and reeled it in and then released it. But it was a monster.
They are out there.
You don't see them. I've only seen them once in 13 years, but they are out there, meaning like the big ones. But they are out there. They do lay eggs, and they're really cool.
But Myrtle Beach State Park is a good place to see. Go on the pier. You might spot one out there. So
these are really sand fleas that are
those are, it's like the mole crab.
Yeah, you can dig down in the sand, not very much, and then you find a bunch of these, and they're super fun. Hudson loves them. We love to catch them, and he thinks they're really cool. So it's a good time when you find those.
They're important food for birds and fish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I feel like the circle of life is going strong around here for sure.
You don't really pay attention when you're at the beach, but that's really what's, all these animals, that's what's taking place.
Right.
So
exactly. It's so interesting. And we don't get to the beach now as much as we would like to. It's amazing because when you vacation, then you're at the beach all the time. When you live here, you start working and life and all the activities that Hudson has. And every once in a while, I should have put in the sunrise picture we took because we went, it was like freezing cold and Frank had it itching to go to the beach, and we got up super early and were bundled up and watched the sunrise and went to the sea captain's house.
You mean breakfast. Hudson had the itch?
I think you did. You were like, why don't we go to the beach more often?
I don't think so. I think Hudson was like, it was really cold. I did not say cold. Let's go. If it was warmer, maybe, but not that. It was cold.
But it's so, there's nothing like watching the sunrise on the ocean. I mean, how special is that? So
no, I agree.
We take it for granted sometimes. So if you're in town or move here, you can always just remind yourself to take a minute and enjoy the beauty that's around us here. The nice thing about Myrtle Beach, which was different when I lived in Wilmington, which we had the beach there, but Myrtle Beach, why I love it is even though we're busy driving around, most of the avenues, if you're on North Kings Highway, which is Business 17, you can look down the avenue as you're driving along and see the teal water.
Hey, to all our haters
a lot of times
on
in the
TikTok,
afternoon, it's teal, I promise.
Yep, it looks like the Caribbean. There's my statement.
Well, that was really like almost clear teal. But so it's just the elevation of it or something, but you can look down as you're driving and see the water, and it just makes your day because you realize like, wow, even though we're not there all the time, we have it here, which is another benefit of moving to Myrtle Beach. So
it's true.
That is wonderful.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else we missed that we found. Are you ready for your
quiz?
I might be ready for the quiz. I'm just trying to make sure. Oh, dolphins.
Yes.
We see a lot of dolphins here. Obviously, dolphins, porpoise, whatever we would call them. I think there's a difference, but we see those here as well. And
a lot. Actually, a month or so ago, they spotted a whale. Our renters at Beach Cove
really
saw a whale. They were on the balcony, and then I heard other sightings.
This is unconfirmed.
No, there was other sightings in North Myrtle Beach, and people were posting pictures, and I'm like, why can't that ever happen when we're there? It's so cool. I guess they were migrating or something.
That's super cool.
I think it's awesome. Okay, don't look at the answers.
All right.
Okay. So here's the first question. True or false? South Carolina has more than 180 miles of coastline.
True.
Yeah. We actually have 187 miles of coastline.
I knew it. I was adding up in my mind. I was like, it's 180 something.
Okay, you should get this because he made a big deal out of this earlier. So he should get this answer. What is South Carolina's official state shell?
Lettered olive. The whelk.
Yeah.
That's not true though. It's the lettered olive, I thought. Okay, well, it could be a lettered olive or a whelk. If you're a shell person and you know about South Carolina shells, let us know what the state shell is. Are we wrong? Is it both? Which one is it?
We did because we went for a while when Hudson was young. We would go to the beach very often before he started all his school activities and all that. And he was so interested, and we would find all these really cool shells, and we wanted to know what they were. So we went to the Barnes and Nobles at Market Common, and they had a South Carolina state shell book
Yeah.
that you can match up the shells you find. So if you're in town and you want to go to a nice movie, dinner, go to Market Common. It's amazing. If you haven't been there yet, make sure to check it out. There's the Barnes and Nobles there, and you can pick yourself up a South Carolina seashell book. So you
100%.
can, it's so fun when you're on vacation.
Yeah.
Okay. So true or false, Frank? Horseshoe crabs are actually crabs. We kind of talked about this too.
False.
Okay, you're right. They're
Boom.
more closely related to
spiders and scorpions.
Good job. He was listening. All right. What gives fossil shark teeth their dark color? And I have three options.
Okay.
A, saltwater staining, B, mineralization, or C, sun exposure.
Gotta go with, man, that's a tough one. It's either mineralization. Let's talk about my process to narrow down. So it's definitely not going to be A. It's going to be mineralization or sun exposure. And I'm going to go with.
You need to phone a friend.
Mineralization.
Okay, you're right.
Boom.
All right. So I think you've gotten them all right so far. Okay, we're not halfway through yet.
What? How many questions are there?
What sea turtle species most commonly nests on South Carolina beaches?
Is that the leatherbacks?
Do you want me to list out the
fine, go ahead. Give me multiple choice.
A is green turtles.
Okay.
B is leatherback turtles, and C is loggerhead turtles.
Ooh, I think it's the final one. I think I'm wrong. I think it's a loggerhead.
That's why you shouldn't jump ahead. You should wait for the answers.
But it's my impatience coming through.
So what's your final answer?
Loggerhead.
Okay, he's right. It is the loggerhead. So true or false? And we talked about these too. Ghost crabs are most active during the day.
I think I wasn't paying attention during this part. Is false. True.
Which one?
True.
It's false.
I said false. I was watching your face in the live, and that's why I was like,
it's false.
Gosh dang it.
The ghost crabs, which are the ones with the little eyes on top, are most active at night. They're nocturnal. So if you go on a night walk with a flashlight, a lot of people do that to find different creatures on the beach that aren't there during the day. And you can really find a lot.
Why haven't we ever done that?
Because I like to go to bed early. I don't like being cold.
Is this serious right now?
I'm afraid of the dark. I don't know. Okay. You ready for the next one?
I guess.
So you missed one so far. Okay.
What is that?
You should know this one because we talked about this also. So let's see if everybody's paying attention. How old are horseshoe crabs as a species?
450 million years.
Okay, you're right, but it's over 450 million years. But you're right. You was listening. So, all right. When is the best time to find shark's teeth? So this is a good tip for everybody. Is it midday in July, after a storm, or high tide?
I don't remember. Did we talk about this today?
Nope.
Okay.
But this is a good tip. And you're a big major shark's tooth hunter, right? You're so good at it. So shouldn't you know this?
Well, I can make a case for all three if you want to know the truth.
Okay. But
high tide makes sense.
Time?
Wait, what was it was after a storm, high tide, or what was the other one?
Midday in July.
That doesn't make any sense. Okay, so it's either high tide or after a storm. After a storm, we usually say for shells. So would that make sense for shark's teeth? Maybe. High tide could make sense because then when the tide washes out, that's when all of that turns up the sand. You can dig a trench.
High tide is when the tide comes in.
Yeah, that's true.
All
right, it's after a storm. It's after a storm.
Ding, ding, ding. You're right. Okay. True or false? You should remove live starfish from water for photos.
False.
Although we did take pictures.
False.
That's true.
Like every person that went to see the starfish during that period.
They need water to survive. And like I said, Hudson and I were picking them up and tossing them far out like we read we were supposed to do. And people were looking at us like mortified. They were so upset that we were doing that.
What?
Yeah. And we were trying to rescue them.
Anyway. Shocker.
Okay.
I've only missed one so far. This
Okay,
has
this is
already
true.
got to be in the A category. Like
Okay,
I've
but you
gotten
have
an
3
A.
more. So, what are mermaid necklaces found on the beach? A. Jellyfish tentacles. B. Whelk egg cases. Or C. Seaweed. Seaweed.
It's either whelk egg cases or seaweed. I will go with. I have no idea.
There is a
what
lot of
whelk
seaweed on
egg
the
case
beach,
looks like,
for
but
sure.
when you say cases, they're like pockets of air. These things, so that's why I think that's the answer. Whelk egg cases.
You're right.
Boom.
So, y'all, if you see one, you can get yourself a mermaid necklace on the beach for free.
Yeah, I mean, I never even knew that's what those were.
Yeah.
And they're the like the green puffy
Yeah.
connected. Yeah, I thought that was seaweed.
Okay, so you still got it right. So, true or false? The Grand Strand is about 60 miles long. I think I've said this like 50 million times in our videos and all the time. I talk to
You
people.
said about. You're not saying if it's more or less, or is it 60? Is that what you're saying?
Roughly 60 miles.
Correct.
True. We are 60 miles of beaches. So when you want to come here and buy a beach condo, the first thing I say is we need to first narrow down to the part of the beach, because 60 miles of coastline gives us a lot of options and can be very overwhelming. So if you haven't yet, watch our live video where we went over the different sections of the beach and what makes each one unique.
100%.
Because, and again, 60 miles of coastline, we have a lot of options.
Yeah. Different beach towns all have a different feel, and there's a lot of beach. So,
okay, your last one. I don't know if you'll get this. What color is a horseshoe crab's blood?
blue.
Correct. What the heck? Did you look at my
Boom.
notes?
No. I mean, I told you I've seen horseshoe crabs in
Oh my
Maryland too.
gosh.
So
he is a pretty good. So it's clear he lives at the ocean for 14 years, and
I'm an ocean genius.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that what you would call? I'm an
I should
ocean
have gotten
genius.
him a T-shirt for winning the. I got to get you a prize next time.
I need something.
I know.
I mean, now here's the question: do you always ask me questions, or do I ask you questions?
No, it's
next
much
time?
better when I ask the question.
Yeah, exactly.
I like being in
But
control.
I've got to, at least I need credit. So if you're going to call me an ocean genius for the next week, then we're good.
Oh my gosh, is that how I have to refer to you now?
I mean, that's only fitting. I think
Okay.
I
What do y'all
performed.
think? I don't know.
Performed well.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot of stuff we found on the beach. We want to know from y'all, what is the coolest thing that you have found on the beach?
Yeah.
Even if, like Frank said, you're not live tonight, if you have found anything, we'd love to hear about it or see pictures, because again, our clients show us the coolest things that they find, and we're like, how did you find that? You're not even here all the time. So
Yeah. And I think it's interesting. I'd love to hear if you live on the coast somewhere, even if you're out west,
yeah,
what do you see on the beach that's
different.
rare, that's different? I mean,
Mhm.
to us, this is, different when we first moved here, some of this stuff, but it'd be interesting to hear what other people find that are different. So if you watch this in the future, make a comment, let us know what you find. I am an ocean.
Oh
Let's
my
just
gosh.
put this up. I
Okay.
am an ocean genius.
No.
Thank you for the comment.
When y'all take your shells,
Yes, G.
do you
She spelled it wrong.
do you keep the shells, or do you put them back where you find them? That's a good question.
Well, if they're alive, you should put them back.
Yeah, but I'm just wondering from everybody if they keep their shells and take them home as souvenirs, or just put them back. I mean, I know how many shells has Hudson collected, and it's like we can't keep them all. At some point, you have to start being a little more picky about the ones.
Oh, for sure.
that
Young
you
kids, though. I
find.
mean, when he's younger, he was picking up every
Oh
rock,
my, the
thinking it was
bigger the
something
better.
special.
Like the big hunks of clam shells.
Yeah.
Remember, they were heavy,
That's
and I'd have to
what's
carry
fun.
them around the beach.
Yeah, that's what's fun. That's cool.
It's
But
so fun.
yeah, you do have to get pickier what we should have done. We didn't take any pictures of the cool ones. We found some really pretty shells over the years.
Mhm. We have a whole jar on our bookcase at home with different whelk and conch shells that we found.
Mhm.
And then we have another jar of all the different shark's teeth. We've given away shark's teeth several times when we filled the jar up. So it's fun though.
Yeah. Diana says she keeps her shells.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. It's fun when you go on vacation and you can bring home a souvenir for free because you spend so much money on vacation and you go out to the beach and then it just brings back memories.
Well, we just gave everybody a little tip to save money. So at all the corners on the Ocean Boulevard, you'll see like a store where they have towels and all this stuff. It's called an Eagle store here or stuff like that.
Yeah, different shirts.
When you go in there, they have all these shark's teeth for sale. Save yourself the money. Go get one yourself on the beach.
And they have shells for sale as well.
Yeah.
Which, Hudson has found some hermit crabs.
Yes,
on the beach, which you used to be able to buy at those stores. I don't know if you can anymore, but then you can buy some really cool like neon shells or whatever and put it in your little hermit crab cage and they'll eventually upgrade to one of those. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But we have found them on the beach. Hudson has found many of them.
Yeah. We found a lot of, I'm sure there's a ton we're forgetting, but
oh my gosh.
Let us know what you found. Let us know if you like this conversation. We feel there's so many topics about Myrtle Beach that we were just like, this is an interesting one. Let's do it. It doesn't really touch on real estate, but I think it's important because if you're going to move here and you want to spend time on the beach, you should know what you're going to see.
Or if you just want to buy a vacation home in a place that you can really explore and find new things all the time. I mean, we've lived here for over a decade and we still see new things all the time.
And learn new things.
And learn new things. So it's in the different parts of the beach that you go here, you'll find different things. Like we talked about, some things might be in Cherry Grove, some might be at the state parks. We have the Huntington Beach State Park or Myrtle Beach State Park. So, and those are pretty much untouched land there. And like I said, just south of North Beach Plantation is Briarcliff Acres, and that is very quiet beach. Nobody's really out there. So it's a great place to go shell hunting. And then of course, after a storm to go out and try to find something cool.
Yeah.
So that's the tips, but you need to get yourself a place here so you can come do it and enjoy, whenever we have the nice weather, because like today was so beautiful out and warm. And we're in February. So if you live here or
it wasn't Tiffany weather,
you can enjoy. Well,
but
I
it was
like
warm.
90. Like I use my heated seat in July. I do.
We won't go there.
But it was a beautiful day today where I wasn't like bundled up. I'm wearing a t-shirt today. So, but yeah.
Cool. Well, hopefully you found some value in this. Hopefully the pictures were interesting to help you see what some of the stuff we found is. We enjoy it. We love sharing it with all of you. So if you have any questions, reach out to us. Otherwise, we'll see you next Thursday and we'll post what our topic is going to be based on our comments, usually about Monday-ish or Tuesday-ish. All right, everybody.
All thanks and have a great night.
Take care, everybody.